Hello, terrible and frightening things are happening in Europe, on the Balkan Peninsula. Children and pregnant women should not listen or watch. The Samodivas, or samovilas, as they are sometimes encountered in certain writings, the Samodivas are exceptionally beautiful forest spirits or maidens who lured young men with their songs and gentle voices. In some legends, it is said that Samodivas are incorporeal and invisible beings, and only certain people can see them. It is believed that Samodivas jealously guard their haunts, and in the past people avoided going to places said to be inhabited by them. Evidence of this can be found in the many locations throughout Bulgaria with names such as Samodiva Meadow, Samodiva Well, and others. Samovilas or Samodivas are mentioned in Bulgarian sources from the 13th century as elements of place names and in connection with condemned pagan practices. The form samovila has been known since the 15th century and Samodiva since the 18th century, in both cases as desecrators of Christian holidays. Villa has a Proto-Slavic root meaning untamed force, similar to rage or blizzard. Diva comes from a Proto-Indo-European root that gave rise to words for deity in many languages, though this origin may later have merged with legends of wild people living in forests. The prefix samo has a defining character, intensifying the meaning of the root. Samodivas are unearthly beautiful, eternally young maidens with slender figures, Samodiva, like long hair, and a magical gaze that can enchant and even kill. They are dressed in white garments, long white dresses, a white shirt or white sukman, a green belt, and a vest, fastened with a girdle azunka, colored like the rainbow, but predominantly green. Their clothing is the key to their supernatural powers. However, if it is taken from them, they submit to humans. They are armed with bows and arrows, which are carried by the maidens and youths they have abducted. Samodivas dance and sing around wells. It is believed that if you see a Samodiva, you should not look her in the eyes. People used to say that there is no song more beautiful than that of the Samodivas, and no dance more graceful. In some regions, it is believed that Samodivas are invisible beings, but they can be seen by those born on a Saturday before All Souls' Day or before Easter. Those born at midnight on Christmas Eve or during the so-called unclean days, re-nursed babies, mixed children, offspring of a Samodiva and a mortal man, as well as dogs with 4 eyes, 2 contrasting spots above the eyebrows. These mythical women roam. They live beneath huge old trees, in abandoned huts or dark caves, near rivers, springs, and wells. Mountains associated with them include Belasica, Rudina Mountain, Vitosha, to a lesser extent Rila, the Rhodopes, and the Balkan Mountains, while Perin and Sredna Gora are their favorites. They appear on Earth from spring to autumn, elders from the Annunciation to Seknoveni. During winter, they live in the mythical village of Zemikovo. At dusk, Samodivas go to bodies of water, lakes, pools, springs, undress, bathe, wash their clothes, and hang them to dry in the moonlight, carefully guarding them from theft. Then they gather in the same meadow deep within dense forests, called a horo ground, where they dance barefoot in magical circles all night. They love music, especially melodies played on the kaval, which is why they often abduct shepherds to make them play for them. Samodivas fear sunlight, so at dawn they quickly leave the dancing ground and hide. Sometimes they help, at times they appear as hard-working women, especially during harvest, helping young mothers. In most cases, however, they are hostile toward humans. They lock water sources, fiercely chase and kill shepherds for grazing on their lands, abduct beautiful girls and brides, or bring misfortune out of envy and malice. Although they appear human, Samodivas can transform into animals, such as wolves. They respect Christian holidays, especially Easter, and punish blind or kill those who do not observe them. Samodivas ride large gray deer, using snakes as reins and whips. If a hunter kills such a deer, its protector takes cruel revenge, blinding him or sending illness followed by certain death. Such sufferers were said to have Samodiva sickness, and if they dared appear at a dancing ground, the Samodivas would recognize them and kill them with deadly screams. Samodivas sometimes form blood brotherhoods with heroes and men who have done them a favor. They become their protectors and even bear them children, from whom great heroes are born. It is said that Krali Marko was nursed by a Samodiva, and Vida Bazdarjika is his sworn sister. If a man steals her veil, she obeys him. If a man manages to steal her veil, the so-called shadow, she becomes an ordinary woman and submits to him. Such a Samodiva marries and bears children, but never becomes a good mother or housekeeper, always seeking a chance to reclaim her stolen item and freedom, abandoning her children. Sometimes Samodivas willingly fall in love, but they completely possess their beloved and torment him with whims until his death. According to some beliefs, Samodivas are deceased women, the most sinful ones, unwanted both on earth and in heaven. If they take a liking to a woman, she dies prematurely and becomes a Samodiva. Girls abducted by them also become Samodivas. Other legends say Samodivas are women who died as virgins. Whoever sees them goes blind. In the Alina Balkan, Samodivas are said to blind anyone who sees them at night. Locals firmly believe this and are afraid to go out after sunset. Many elderly people in the region have eye problems, which further fuels fear among villagers. Even today, stories are passed down about these mythical beauties roaming the forests. The legend spread widely in the 1970s after a local man gradually lost his sight. He visited the prophetess Vanga, who immediately asked him when he had seen the Samodivas. Shocked, he admitted he had seen a woman in white in a meadow while tending his herd, after which his vision began to fade. Since then, every case of vision problems has revived the legend. Some villagers claim people lost their sight within days, with doctors unable to find a cause, strengthening belief that Samodivas were responsible. Animals sense their presence. Animals also sense them. Dogs guarding livestock would often behave strangely, howling late into the night or barking at nothing. Some would whimper and hide. According to local belief, Samodivas choose a meadow and dance there, most often during a full moon. They appear like apparitions, vague figures of girls in glowing white garments. Samodivas in the Vedic villages today. Legends about Samodivas persist in the villages around Vidin. Locals claim the creatures still appear, especially during the autumn equinox. In the village of Shishensi, population decline has even been attributed to them. Residents report hearing screams and witnessing strange events. 5 men disappeared over the years. 2 later returned with no memory, later recalling bizarre stories. Even skeptics claim to hear cheerful cries and drum-like sounds from the forests. First female, then children's, then male voices. Locals believe these are abducted men taken by Samodivas to father offspring. The epicenter of these phenomena is said to be Shishensi, a remote and hard-to-reach village. Long ago, wedding guests traveling there were attacked and hid in a cave, only to vanish, as it was believed to be inhabited by Samodivas. The cave was later sealed with stones, yet the voices from the forest never ceased. The mystery deepened when a shepherd, delayed at sunset, saw a Samodiva dance near Bunchovata fountain. The next day, villagers found the grass flattened in a perfect ring.